Okay, today I'm using some new software, so we'll see how it goes. I was using this thing called OBS, like to record on my computer. I'm using my computer camera and microphone and the screenshot and all that. But today OBS asked me to upload the new version or something, and I did that and suddenly it didn't work. So I downloaded something called Camtasia or something like that. And that's what this is. We'll see how that works out. This is my third go around, but that's mainly because of him. I'm going to have to get my guitar. He hates the guitar. For some reason, the drums and the bass don't bother him, but the guitar does. I don't know why he hates that so much. I'm glad he does. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, so this is the first exercise I've used to I was introduced to work on my limb independence, and it's a really good one. It's not that difficult, or I mean, it's a little bit difficult when you start, but it's fairly straightforward. But remember, it's independence. There's a way to play this easily, but it's not working on your independence. So let's just go ahead and start it right now. Got to go back to 1.1. Now, first I'll just play it at full tempo to show you what it sounds like. This is at 120 beats per minute. Oh, by the way, if you don't read drum music, we'll talk about that at the end. There's a couple of epilogue stuff. All you need to do is hear this exercise, and later in the video I'll demonstrate playing it. And then at the end we'll talk about the music and the written music and all that. And right now let's just start with listening to the exercise. Now I put the music up because I need to show you a couple of things. Now here we go. Now this is at 120 beats per minute, which is about 2 beats per second, which is a typical pop song tempo. So here we go. Okay. Now, that's what it sounds like. Whoops. Now, what I want to show you is here in the music. You've got, look at my cursor, the X's at the top are the ride symbol. That's your right hand. Ding, ding-a-ding, ding-a-ding. Okay? The solid ovals in the middle are the snare drum. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the solid ovals on the bottom are the bass drum. Boom, 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 boom. That's the hard part. And then the X's at the bottom are your left foot. That's the hi-hat closing. Boom, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'm going to play it at half speed so you could hear what it sounds like a little bit better. I want you to focus on the bass drum, and I'll follow the bass drum with the cursor because, again, this is the hard part. This is the part that requires independence. Now you could add different snare drum things to it later, but the first thing you need to do is make your left foot and your right foot cooperate with each other and not freak out your hands. So here we go, half tempo, 1 beat per second. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now notice that there's no bass drum on 4. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, stop. Okay, that's the exercise. That's all there is to it. Now let's go over to the drum kit and I'll show you what I got. And after we're done with that, we can talk about, we'll talk about the music stuff and where to go from there as far as improving your independence and learning how to read notes if you need to do that. It looks complicated. It really, really, really is not. Okay, let's get to that right now. Now that I've shown you the exercise on computer, I'll show it to you on my drum kit. Now, be ready. Forgive me. My drum kit is this. It's basically a busking kit that I've got shirts on the drums, and I can't really practice at home anyway. I set this up in my living room just so that I can show you this thing. So I can show you this exercise. This is a Pearl Rhythm Traveler. You may have seen the unboxing video for this. Quite happy with it, except for the ride cymbal. It's that weird sound. You'll hear it in a minute. And I had to play it with the brushes, so you'll see that in a second too. But but it's the exercise. I can't play it loud, but I can play it. I can show it to you, so don't worry about that. Okay, so we're going to do this slowly, very slowly. The idea is to play this beat. Okay, but I'm going to break it down for you slowly. You've seen it on the computer already. Now I'm going to just do it slowly. On the right hand, left hand if you're left-handed, but whatever. On the ride cymbal, it's one, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now with the hi-hat, with your foot, your left foot, on 2 and 4. Ready, go. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Now the snare drum is the same as the hi-hat. So it's just exactly the same. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So once you've got this down, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and the hi-hat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now here's the tricky part. So let's reposition the camera and I'll show you the exercise broken down very slowly. Okay, here we go. Okay, like I said, here's the tricky part, because you're just doing 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's going to be really easy if you play the bass drum on 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Okay, but that's not what we're doing. We're trying to develop independence. So it goes like this, very slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See, 1, 2, whoops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, rest. Okay, that's basically what we're doing. That's the entire exercise. It's not that hard to do. Well, except it is at first. When I first was shown this, I don't know who made this exercise up. It was first shown to me by my band teacher in the 70s or 80s. A guy named Mark Davis showed it to me. And it was just a very early exercise to develop independence. So if for some of you it may be very easy, I don't know. For me, it was super, super hard, but it was like riding a bicycle. I couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it, and I just kept trying. I kept working on it, and then all of a sudden, I could. And once I could, it became this. So once I was able to do it regularly, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, probably already pissing off my neighbors, so I need to stop. But that's the exercise, and once you can do that, that's your gateway to independence. Now, hang on. Okay, so where do you go from here? If you're really serious about getting better, first thing I would do is learn how to read drum notation. I put a link to a YouTube video tutorial for just exactly that below. The guy goes through it pretty quickly, but it is very simple. So have a look at that and see if it's helpful. And once you can understand the notation, maybe get a snare drum book. I didn't think to find a recommendation for that, but just any music store that has music books, just find any snare drum book that has notes in it, and it'll give you practice reading the notation that the guy shows you in the video. And if you really can't follow it that well, it's not a bad idea to find a teacher. A teacher's really much better than a tutorial and teaching yourself out of a book, but any of those systems or all of them together work. As for improving your independence, like I said before, the exercise I just gave you is a very early, very, very first independence exercise. But you can take it from there with this book here, Advanced Techniques for the Modern Drummer. And I know it says for jazz and bebop, but it's just good for developing your independence. I'm a rock drummer, but I still found it very useful. I still find what I learned there very useful. And another book I used when I was younger was this one, The Drummer's Cookbook. Now, I know how cheesy that sounds and how cheesy the cover looks, but it's actually a really good book. It's for rock and funk, and it gives you some pretty good ideas. It goes into the history of drumming in those styles, and it'll give you some ideas for grooves, and it's further practice with your reading. And, I can't stress how useful it is to read. Important? I don't know. I've known people, not very many, but I've known a few people in my life who could not read their native language. They could speak it perfectly well, but there's so many things that come up. I mean, if you can't read, how do you teach yourself anything? You don't. You can't. You have to rely on what other people tell you, and that's just not critical thinking. You need to know how to read. It's the same with music. If you know how to read music, you could read what's in these books and say, well, that's cool. Now I know how to do that. I'm going to do it differently. You can do it differently without reading it, but reading gives you more information, and you could learn so much faster. So learn to read, man. And these two books, this one and this one, I highly, highly recommend. I worked with both of these books concurrently, and I still use what I learned in both of those. I use them to this day. So I recommend them very highly. So that's it for me. Again, the link in the description below to the video, to YouTube video, so you won't go far. And I guess that's pretty much it. I'll be back next week with another video. Not sure what it's about, but I never do. It's a surprise. It's a surprise for all of us. So, okay, that's it. Like, subscribe, bell, if you're so moved. If not, click the dislike button. It doesn't really matter. In fact, the reason I don't make a video, I thought of making a video for you guys to teach you how to read myself, but it's just too much work. I'll do it if you pay me, but I'm not getting paid for these. So, there's R again. I put my guitar away. Okay, R, come on. Oh, no. Now he's being pissy. Anyway, okay, I got to go. Like, subscribe, blah, 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 blah. And that's it. Doodles.